What's up, YouTube? What up, friends and fam? Coming at you with another video. Right now it's 4 a.m. I woke up at 2:45 this morning. Just because I want that extra edge, man. I'm like, I've been sleeping in a little bit too long. I'm not even gonna lie. For 2 days straight, I did not hit my early morning wake up time, and that threw me for a fucking loop. And I was even ashamed to admit that. You know what I mean? I slept until 5 one day, until 6 another day, man. Never again. Fuck that shit. Just like my vibrational energy is just, it's so low when I do that. When I just give up and don't wake up to the alarm clock, man, it's like a horrible feeling. It's like the worst feeling in the world because, in my opinion, the best feeling in the world is getting up at 2:45 or 3:30. I really like the 2:45 wake up because it's like 3:30. Yeah, it's great, but I want to be at the gym for 5, and it's just like sometimes I feel rushed and I like can't wake up enough. If I could wake up enough before that, yeah, 3:30 would be fine. But I like 2:45. I get some work done, do some emails, write some stuff out. But here's the basis of the video: is this right here. So what if I told you that depression, mental health, anxiety was something that was taught to us in America, or it's like a societal norm now to be depressed or anxious? What if I told you that? Would you believe me? So I firmly believe that those two things are taught to society: how to be depressed, how to be anxious. Like, think about it. Like, growing up, everybody, I'll just speak on my growing up. Like, it was like almost like it was like a total reward if you could just sit down and watch as much TV as possible. That was like a lot of people's goal, to like try to watch as much TV as possible. Like, we'd get to school and brag about how much TV we watched. When, think about it, just that act right there, that it was all like ingrained in us. Like, try to watch as much TV as possible before bed, stay up as late as possible before bed. Like, all these habits are like bad for you. They're like, watching a lot of TV will lead to depression. Like, it just will. Like, between the commercials and what they show you on the commercials, half of these commercials are for antidepressants. Like, if you see the same thing over and over and over again, eventually you'll believe it. Like, it's just like a fact. Even if you're present, you're conscious, you're looking at this, but if you see that same commercial over and over again, like, eventually you're going to be like, huh, I mean, I might have depression, when really that's like fucking crazy. You know what I mean? If you look back in history, there hasn't been a time in history where so many people have been diagnosed depressed, diagnosed anxious. I'm not saying those things don't exist, but what I do think is that it's very rare for somebody to be born that way. And if somebody is born that way, put them in a culture like this, of course they're gonna be fucking really depressed. Like I said, like, depression is taught, like, it's a taught act, I believe. I don't think that depression is like this hereditary thing. I believe that depression is like an environmental thing more than hereditary. Because when you think about it, if you're saying like, oh, it's in our genetics to be depressed, and like you and your family all struggle with depression, but the people that you surround yourself with are all the ones in your family. Like, is it really hereditary or is it environmental? That's what I believe that depression and anxiety is, mainly environmental. I'm not saying like it's a healthy thing to sometimes feel depressed or feel anxious, especially when it comes to like somebody dying or something like this. But just to wake up and feel depressed or anxious for no reason, that's a choice. That is a choice instilled by your habits. Like, it just is. That's why, like, the habits I practice, like the early morning wake up time, is like non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. A lot of these things in life, if you make them non-negotiable, you'll be doing a lot better for yourself. It's like, people ask me all the time on Facebook, sometimes on here on YouTube. It's like, what do I start eating? Or like, what workout should I do? I'm like, dude, you have a plethora of information on the internet, not just me, but everybody else that's teaching you how to work out. Like, you got to start trying these things, man. Nobody has a set answer for you, but like, the fact of the matter is, it goes back to habits. It's like, all right, so you want to get in shape. Look at somebody that's in shape on the internet, whether it's me or the next guy, and model them. It's called modeling. When you model somebody, like, say I want to be like Mark Wahlberg, which isn't too far out of realm because I respect Marky Mark and I actually do live a similar lifestyle to him. Then I would model exactly what he does or did to get where he's at. If I wanted to become an actor, I would get Mark Wahlberg's book, study it, just read it through. Then I would study on him on the internet, see what time he wakes up, see what he eats every day, how he got into acting, the routes that he took. Like, that's a realistic, attainable goal if you want to become an actor. Like, pick somebody that's from your area, that's made it to acting, and follow what the fuck they did. And start following what they do on a normal basis. You know what I mean? If you want to achieve a certain level of mental capability, since this is about like depression and anxiety, like, you got to do things that happy people do on a daily basis. Like, happy people do not sleep in every day to whatever time they want. Happy people do not watch TV for endless hours, or they're not on the internet for endless hours, or they're not fucking looking at other people's fucking stories for endless hours on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever. They're out there living their own fucking story, Like, these are the things you got to do that society's teaching you, like, oh, it's okay. Like, did you see his story or her story? It's like, live your own fucking story, become a content creator, and just pump out content. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's like a beeline way to happiness in today's society. Which I kind of got off topic about the subject, about how I don't think people are born with depression, but it just, the acts that you follow is going to make you sad, or it's going to make you depressed. You know what I mean? Like, if you're, for example, if you're always modeling your dad or your mom or your cousin or your brother, and depression runs in your family, what do you think you're gonna be? You're gonna be fucking depressed. That's why once you decide what you want to be and decide who you want to model, a lot of people will try to bring you down back to their level, because humans and culture and animals, they're kind of like crabs in a bucket. And when crabs in a bucket, you like, a fisherman goes fishing for crabs, he puts crabs in his bucket, one crab will start escaping that bucket, and then the other crabs will bring him down into the bucket. So we're not crabs. So it's not like that, like in the terms of getting away from that bucket. It's a lot easier getting away from that bucket. You got to stay fucking focused though. Some of the closest people to you will try to bring you back down into that depression realm, because that's what they were taught, that's all they know, and they want you to stay there with them because they don't want to be lonely. That's like the sad reality of life, man. But you don't have to look at it as sad either. I don't kind of regret saying it that way. Like, it's an eventful fucking opportunity to experience what you want to experience and become who you want to become. But I firmly believe that is the number one way to get out of depression, get out of anxiety, is be honest with yourself, like, oh, who do I want to be? What do I really want to do? And then find that person that's already doing it or that's been doing it, and ask him or research into his daily morning wake up time, what he eats on the daily, what he reads, what he has reads, what his favorite books are. You got to start thinking like he thinks, and that is the quickest way to get out of a depression stage, is to do that. And that whoever you want to model, that's just up to you. That is just up to you, my friends. No matter how crazy people think it is, like, that is up to you. That's like with the whole business thing. I find myself modeling to people who I've worked for in the past. A really cool gardener, Lorcan, out of Brookline. Very special dude, man. Like, he has a gardening company like you've never seen before. Super small, no gas-powered machines or anything like that. So it's just strictly gardening. Like, you imagine like your shovel, your rakes, your barrels, your dump truck. But other than that, there's no gas-powered machines. And I worked for Lorcan for 3 years, or even 4. And that dude gave me the opportunity of a lifetime as far as like paying me what I'm really worth. Like I never had been paid what I was really worth before I met that dude. Like I'm forever grateful for him because he instilled something in me. It was like, oh, like you can believe in yourself. When in a time I didn't really believe in myself that I could make it doing this or doing that. Especially I didn't think I'd make a living doing gardening. I just didn't think I would. But he put that inside me. He started me at $12 an hour, and then he bumped me up to like $30 an hour within the first year. I was like, God damn, this is fucking sick. I was making like $300 a day. That's a lot of money, man. If you've never made any money, $300 a day is a lot of fucking money. So I was fucking thrilled when I got that job, and he was really cool, taught me gardening. So I do model his company, and everything I know about gardening, everything I know about trees, I learned from fucking Lorcan. Like I owe that guy so much. Like that was like schooling for sure. Like I didn't learn trees from him necessarily, but I learned gardening, and gardening is the same thing as trees, except trees are bigger. Like I've said before, I don't know personally how to cut down a tree, but I could tell you how to fucking trim it properly because I know how to trim a bush, a bush or a little plant properly. What I learned from him, a lot of landscape company owners don't even know about gardening. Like I know like the fundamental basics about gardening, and I could school people on that shit. That's why I feel like I get jobs when it comes to trees and plants, because I'm like talking knowledge to these people, and I break down the normal sense. Like I just learned a lot from that dude, man. Like I learned a lot about gardening, learned a lot about plants, whatever. But anyways, I model him because I liked the way he did a couple things, how he kept it, the scale he was at. I think it was incredible. Like what he has going is incredible. The only thing I don't like about him, which is fine, you find models, you model what you do like about them, and you don't really focus on what you don't like, but he just ran one crew, and I was like, don't you want to get more money? But that's how he wanted to do things. I'm sure he makes plenty of money and is happy with it, but I want to be the best, so I want to have, take that model of his crew and multiply it, and keep on going like that. And then another company I model is Pink and Green Landscape. I used to work there when I was in Miami. I was there for 1 year. That's where I met both the workers I have now. How they do things in Florida is way different than how they do things in Massachusetts, and I'm forever grateful to have that structure of learning how they do things down there, to see how a big company down in Florida that started small, just like I am or did, multiplied and became big. It's fucking fascinating to me because there's so much fucking competition in South Florida. It's not even funny. Like, if you took if you have a landscape company, mainly talking to Phil right now, like, if you took your company and tried to go down to South Florida with little money, like start how we started up here, good fucking luck. Like, I don't know if I would make it down there. Like, do I want to make it down there with the company? No, I really don't want to. But like, to me, up north is way easier. Like, good luck doing that. So to find somebody that's doing that and work for them, that was cool. That was a learning experience that I didn't even know was a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, they taught me so much just by modeling what they do, their structure, their system, and yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But with that, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Early morning video, fucking killed it. Let's go.